been so excited to make this video. I purchased this palette set a few weeks ago and I have put off touching it until I was able to make this video. So I did open it up just to look at it, but I haven't actually used the colors, so this is going to be sort of a first impression swatching and just kind of playing with it and showing the colors, all that good stuff. So this is the Beauty Glazed palette. I've seen, oh, there's a little plastic hanging out here. Let's get rid of that. I think there's more in there. There might be more in there. But yes, this is the Beauty Glazed eyeshadow palette that I have been seeing other YouTubers, just a few others, talking about, and I was like, this looks beautiful, what is this? And then without even looking it up, I saw it pop up on my Amazon Prime account, which was interesting. You know how they say that they're watching your every move online. So I was kind of like, oh, is that it? And then I clicked on it and sure enough, it looked exactly the same. To my delight, it was extremely inexpensive. I don't remember now, but I believe it was under $20. So under $20 for a palette this big is a huge bargain. And we'll see if the colors swatch well. But I'm so excited to use this palette because it has so many colors, and you can see here that it's sort of organized in 4 different palettes inside of it. So let me just open it up for you guys. See, of course, oh, there we go. So, just opening it up, trying to fit everything. Let me just back the camera up a bit. I'm just sitting here on my floor filming this. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this without ruining anything. So within this palette, you can see that there are 4, can you see that? Yep, there's 4 separate palettes and they kind of slide out like so. I don't have enough room to like fully slide them out, but you can see they're kind of themed. So we have here some really beautiful orangey, sort of burnt orange and red shades that we're going to explore. And this one, it's definitely more green tones and yellowy greens. And then in this one here, we can see that it is more of the blue tones. And then in this last one here, see that it's more purple, pinks. But each one is definitely unique and very, very interesting. It's a mixture of matte colors and glitters. I think there's some shimmers in there as well. However, I tend to really enjoy glitter shades and mattes. I love making looks out of glitter and mattes. But shimmers can be useful too, so we're gonna swatch hopefully all of these. It's a lot of colors here, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 per palette, and there's 4 palettes. So that's 60. So 60 what do you call that? Of course, I'm forgetting now. Pans. So 60 pans, and each a different color. So, I'm like so excited to swatch these, and I'm like hoping that it will sound good too. Because I'm just so eager that I'm just wanting to dive in, but I have to calm down a little. So let's just start with this top one here. Hopefully my nails don't ruin any of them. Has that ever happened to you guys where you by accident stab makeup with your nail and ruin it, and then you cry inside a little? So I'm just gonna tap a little bit on this. I would say, based on looking into the viewfinder, the camera is picking up the colors pretty true to what they look like in person. They might just be a bit darker in person. I do have some lights shining here just to see the full glimmers and glitters. But yeah, if there's any glare, it's probably from these lights. So I'm actually going to swatch these on my hand. So I'm going to do it row by row and then remove the colors with some makeup remover, and then just move on to the next row. So let's start with this first row here. These colors right here. I'm going to be putting them on my hand here. Okay. So let me just move this over a little so we have room here. So here's this first kind of white tan shade. Then we have this sort of green, pukey green. Then this really beautiful teal color. Now the glitter shade. It's a little bit bright in here, but you can see for the most part the colors. So I would say that the pigment is pretty good for the price. Okay, so next row. this middle row right here. Again, starting on this side here, I'm going to be taking this sort of random brown shade. Seems kind of random, but I imagine they put it in here to help you create more looks with one. Oh, this is very interesting. Sorry, I hope I'm in the camera here. It's very, like, shimmery. This would make a really nice highlight for someone with a deeper skin tone. Not for me, but really beautiful. Okay, the glitter I'm always like nervous about. Let's see if I can. Oh, okay, that one went on a lot better than the other one. Okay, that last swatch was not good. Sorry. Okay, so here you can see that lineup. Almost all three of those greens here, I mean colors, the brown and then the two greens right here, have this nice sheen to them that I think looks really pretty, and hopefully my camera's picking that up. But yeah, so pretty. Okay, so here is the last row. Very vibrant. These glitters are like, oh my gosh, too much to handle. Yep, this last three here definitely have that nice sheen like I was talking about before. Oh, I hate swatching with my thumb. It's just the worst. Okay. Yeah, these swatches suck, you guys. I'm sorry. So let's move on to... Oh, of course, you can see it much better at this angle. If only I knew that before. Okay, so maybe I'll do it like this. You can see there. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see what's next here. Oh, this is exciting. My favorite one. I am obsessed with like orangey colors. I think that they look really good with my eye color, which is blue. So I usually gravitate towards these nice burnt orange and sunset sort of colors. Just cleaning my hand here. You guys don't have to see that. In case you're wondering what I'm doing. Okay, so let's swatch these. I'm really excited to see these. So just show you guys a little bit closer here what this palette looks like. I'm really excited about this color actually right here. I love glittery, what do you call that, like orange, glittery orange. Copper looks so pretty. And then like that bright orange at the top there. Like up here, oh no, this one. And like this one down here. Very intrigued about. So let's just get into it. looks like nothing, as I anticipated on my skin tone. It's hard to swatch with long nails. Anyone else have this problem? Oh my heaven. Oops, I didn't really get enough of that one. Okay, here we go. So, that first color is pretty much non-existent on my skin tone. It maybe looks a little bit more like peachy, maybe a little bit, or warmer a little bit, but you really cannot even tell where it is on my hand. Like, the first color I see is this orange right here, but there is a color here. It's just, yeah. This will probably show more on very, very, very pale people, or even really dark skin tones. It could be like a highlighting shade. Or for me, it could just be like a cleanup shade. Like if I, by accident, went overboard, I could use that to clean it up a little. I'm surprised how much I am enjoying those shimmery sheen colors. Because I usually don't like see-through-y colors, but they seem really blendable, which is nice. There's literally just glitter everywhere. Oh boy. So we're gonna go with this middle row here. And it looks like, again, we have all mattes and shimmers. No glitters. So let's just get started. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is insanity. This palette is like insane, seriously. Okay. I hate using my thumb. Alright, it's good enough. I'm like a lazy swatcher. Sorry, I'm not like a perfectionist. Okay, so, literal heaven. Did you guys see that first shade right there on this finger, like right below? Oh my gosh, like right here. Look at that. I was not expecting it to look like that. So the only thing I'll say is, like, not all the colors look the way they look in the pan. So swatching them is definitely important before making a look out of it. But I think that they look better swatched than they do in the pan. Some of them, not all of them. That yellow is much more mustard than it looks in the pan. In the pan, it looks very bright, and on my skin, it looks more like of a muted mustard. And then, like, obviously that first one there is like just a beautiful bronze color. This I might be able to get away with as a highlight type shade, maybe in the summer when I'm a little more tan. Right now, I don't think so. Yeah, and then that burnt orange at the end would look stunning on green and blue eyes. If you want to make those eyes pop, make that color pop. So, just like, I'm just amazed and so impressed by these swatches. It is time for the last row. I'm very excited because we have two glitters here. So get ready. Okay, so this first shade again is like super random. So let's see how this looks. That is really pretty. this last glitter here. Let me just use my pinky again. I mean my pointer. What? Oh my god, you guys. Oh my gosh. I just cannot get over these glitters. Like, oh, this last glitter here is going to be perfect for Halloween and fall. Like, I need to make a look out of this, like, ASAP. Oh my god, and even that bright orange right next to it. Down here. Down here. It's like, oh, it's just so pretty. Actually, I really like this orange right here, too. This one looks like literal, like, pumpkin orange. I wish these shades had names to them. I would call that one pumpkin orange. Now this first one is similarly to all these other ones here that you see. It's got that nice shimmery glimmer to it. This one was matte actually. But these two are that nice shimmery kind of highlight type of look. Then we got some major glitter down here. And bright oranges. So let's move on to the next color palette that we are going to be working with. Now this palette doesn't give me as much joy as the last one, but it's very different. Not something I would typically buy. So I'm excited to see. Sorry guys, I'm like out of breath. I just had to go run to go like stop this noise from happening. And now I'm like nervous that it's gonna come back, but we'll see what happens. It's very hard making ASMR videos when you live with other people. So my hope is that one day I will have my own place. Well, specifically like a house. It would be nice. And even if I lived with like my boyfriend or something, I could have like a special room for filming that it could be like really insulated and stuff. That'd be nice. Except I'm poor, so I'm just doing this in my bedroom. Okay, so let's just get started. So this first shade here, also intriguing and a little bit random because it looks pink to me. And actually this might be the perfect shade for a highlight for me. Of all the ones I've talked about so far, that might be the one that would actually be good for my current skin tone. Because it's nice and oh my god. Whoa. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is like also a first impression video. So you can see here that these colors are kind of random. But this first row, it sort of makes me think of like the beach now that I'm looking at it together. So here you can see when I kind of move my hand in the light here. This is that nice highlighty shimmer that I was talking about. You can kind of see it shining. And then next to it is sort of just a white tan shade. Nothing special, really. And then next to it, oh, do you hear my stomach? Oh my god. This beautiful brown shade. And then the most exciting is these two matte blue shades. And they're just really, really beautiful and so pigmented. Like, I really didn't swatch it that hard. And they're just really pigmented, so I'm excited to use these. I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for. But there will come a time when I will need those blue colors. Okay, I'm very intrigued by this row because of this shade here, and then this one, and then of course the yellow, because we've already seen a few yellows. So I'm interested to see what's going on with that one. There's a little bit of makeup remover left on my hand, so if these do look a little bit patchy, that very well could be why. Oh look, I just got some of that brown in there. Oops. So I wouldn't necessarily blame it on this palette. You can blame it on me for not trying my hand fully. Like the sparkle one, it's patchy, but I think it's because my hand was pretty wet still. So yeah, these are all very pigmented. You can see just how beautiful these are. The yellow is less of a mustard and more of a true, like, sunny yellow. So that's important to note. Depending on what kind of look you're doing, this yellow is better for cool tone makeup. So let's move on to this last row here. And this row is mostly blues. So this is kind of the meat and potatoes of the blues. And then here we have this sort of, again, like that shimmery, highlighty, but for deep skin tone type shade. So let's see how that looks. Oh, okay. Apparently it has purple in it. I can't see that well because of my eyes are still healing. But, oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Wow. Okay, I think this was probably my favorite row in this set right here. The blues are really incredible. They swatched beautifully. This first one here is actually more purpley than brown. And then, yeah, we have just some blue shimmers in the middle. And then at the end here is a matte blue, like a blue-gray sort of color. So different levels of brightness. Some of them are very bright. Some of them are more muted, which I think is really cool that they did that, because sometimes people want more pastel type makeup look, and sometimes people want really, really bright, like, you know, like they want to stand out, you know. That's me. I fit in that category. I want to walk in a room and I want to turn heads, you know? I'm not the type that wants to kind of hide in the corner, which is funny because in high school I was a little bit more of that person. And I've always been very shy when I was growing up. But now I just want to be, you know, a showstopper, a head turner. I want to be an it girl, you know? Okay, so goodbye, blue. You were more impressive than I expected. And I will challenge myself to make a look with you. So this is probably going to be my second favorite palette. Reason being that these are more warm tones again, which I love. And purple is my favorite color, which if you watched one of my last videos with the purple monochromatic, I talked about that. I love, 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 love purple. So very intrigued by this. A couple of colors do stand out, like this is very dark, so I'm interested to see what happens with that. Sort of a random blue in here, that's a glitter, so I'm interested in that as well. And then the pinks and purples, just in general, they look really pretty, so let's get to swatching. Guys, these swatches sucked, I'm sorry. It was partly my fault, but partly too. I noticed that the purples in the middle here, these ones, are a little bit patchy. I don't know if it's because of the way I swatched it or the fact that there's still makeup remover, you know, on my hand. There's also some blue undertones left on my hand, so I don't know, but this isn't as good as I hoped. This rose specifically. I mean, the color I do feel obsessed with right now is this one right here. And this is like a perfect pinky tone highlight shade. You could use this on your cheeks or on your eyelid, inner corner. I mean, it's just super versatile. This one did not come out that good. These three actually, I don't know. Maybe we'll see if I try a look with them. I'm sure I will at some point. If they aren't as patchy, but they're just a little bit patchy here. And then that last one there, it's just kind of like all the other glitters. It's just like this nice, cool, icy blue. Would be really pretty in the winter if you wanted to do like a wintry icicle snowman themed look. So let's take that off. And yeah, like you can see my hand is just becoming like this messy hodgepodge of color. So let's get a little more makeup remover here. Just try to get it all mostly off. I like this sound here. It sounds really nice. The sound of like the moist cotton pad taking off the makeup. It's a nice sound. Now this is going to be the second to last row. Second to last row. Right here. So right here, in the middle here. Very excited. Actually, this is the most exciting row to me because we have those bright pinks and then we have this really dark glitter, which I'm very excited about. So I'm being careful about tapping because I don't want to ruin the palette. So let's see here. This color looks kind of boring to me, but maybe it'll swatch nicely. Oh, that's like very Barbie pink. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh my gosh. This is really hard to swatch. There we go, it's a little better. So these two on the beginning and end here are that shimmery color, and they're just sort of Barbie pink. Very shimmery, very nice sheen pink color. Would make good highlighting shade, or even to blend with, it would be fine. Now this shade in the middle, I'm like obsessing over. It doesn't look as bright in the camera. I don't know why, but it is like hot pink. Looks a little more like red on camera, but it is definitely hot pink. And then the glitter, I think that glitters are kind of getting sick of my hand because the color is pretty, but the swatch was difficult because my hand has just had so much product on it in the last hour that it didn't want to swatch as nicely, but it is a very pretty dark purple color. This would have been a good palette to use for my monochromatic look. But to be honest, I kind of forgot I had it because I hid it from myself. Because I didn't want to use it yet. Because I was saving it for this ASMR video. So, thank you, past Christine, for looking out for future Christine. And now, here we are. So this last row, it's not like super enticing to me. Oops, I just scratched one, of course. But I bet it will be really shimmery is the vibe I'm getting from these ones here. So let's see what it looks like. Oh, okay. Was not expecting that. Or that. Sorry, you can't see it yet. Hang on, hang on. Okay. Again, I'm like sucky at swatches. These three, actually no, sorry, these two mostly are literally like orangey color. I guess there might be a little bit of purpley undertones in them. Yeah, for sure, like they're a little more purpley red than like a yellowy orangey. Now this one I'm loving. This is like a bright magenta color and it's really pretty. This one was a little patchier, but it could have just been a bad swatch. Not sure. But this one went on really smooth. And then this one was a little patchy too. But these three in the middle, I'm like obsessed with. So, I know that's not like zooming in really probably, but yeah, this is really, really pretty. Gorgeous. So, and I don't know if I showed you up close, so let me just move this up. I'm not sure if I ever showed you, but these are all the shades for this one. And I believe I've showed all the other ones too. So, I have a pretty good idea. We have a beautiful purple palette set. We have our beautiful blues. We have our beautiful, beautiful oranges. And then our gorgeous greens. My favorites, now that I've swatched, I would say was the orange one, obviously, and then probably the blue one, actually. The blue palette had a lot of variation and really bright colors and just very different, which is what I liked about it. So again, this is Beauty Glazed, which is not a brand I own anything by, but now that I do, I'm pretty impressed. And it's called the Color Board. So, if you like makeup and you have an extra, like, I don't know what it was, like 20 bucks or whatever, 15, 20 bucks, then I would say that you should spend it. Because it is worth it. And just, there's so much possibility in this palette. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I won't really need another eyeshadow palette ever again. Of course, you know I will buy one, but this has, like, legitimately any color that I've thought of ever using. So, I'm excited to make looks with this. Probably gonna make quite a few of them. And I'm gonna link the Amazon link down below in the description bar. Feel free to go ahead and check it out and purchase it if you enjoy it and are interested. My review is definitely like, I would say like 9 out of 10. Only thing I'm nervous about is the glitters a little bit, because I'm just nervous about if they're going to be irritating on my eye. I do have pretty sensitive eyes. So I will give a follow-up update on that, because sometimes chunky glitter can irritate your eye. So, but I would say even without the glitters, these colors are all worth it for sure. So I'm going to put that link below. And then if you buy it, then you will also have it. So when I do future makeup tutorials in the coming months, with using this palette, of course, you can follow along with the same palette, which I think is a good idea, because then you'll get, the same look if you are wanting that. So if you might want to replicate the looks, but of course they can be created with other shades as well, as long as you have some good variety in your makeup collection, or a good idea and knowledge of colors and color theory and what looks good together and things like that. So I hope you guys found this video to be relaxing. I know it was for me, because I just love eyeshadow so much, and I love videos like this, and I realized lately that I really like soft-spoken videos as well, so I decided that would be a nice change. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm like stuck over here. Thank you. Thank you. It's hard to do hand movements at this angle. I will see you guys in my next video. Take care and sweet dreams, okay?